Hello, everyone. Welcome to our session on science, technology, and innovation, harnessing technology for positive impact. We are delighted to have Dr. Wang with us today to share his experiences and insights on driving innovation in science and technology. Dr. Wang is a distinguished data scientist and machine learning researcher with extensive experience in both academia and industry. He earned his bachelor's degree in systems and control engineering from Harbin Institute of Technology in China in 2003 and his Master of Science degree in Systems and Control Engineering from Delft University of Technology in the Netherlands in 2005. Dr. Wang completed his PhD in Industrial and Systems Engineering at Rutgers University in New Jersey in 2012. Currently, he is an associate professor of Industrial and Systems Engineering at the University of Texas at Arlington. Dr. Wang's research interests include data science, machine learning, and AI-driven smart systems, with applications across healthcare, energy, agriculture, and life sciences. His work has been supported by prestigious national agencies such as the National Science Foundation, the National Institutes of Health, and the U.S. Department of Agriculture, as well as leading industry companies including Apple, Foxconn, and NVIDIA. We are honored to have Dr. Wang with us today. Please join me to welcome Dr. Wang to give us a talk.
Okay, so I just want to talk about to our youth member that it's important to become a critical thinker, and it will benefit a lot beyond. So currently, actually, the critical thinking has identified as one of the most important skills for career success, and but it's notably absent in the new workforce, and also it's absent among many of our students. And it's a project to become increasingly important and ranked as the most important skill to develop for our students. In particular, in the current days, a surge of misinformation on social media platforms, the rise of the science skepticism, and the impact of the partisan politics all present significant challenges to how the information is shared, understood, and how those information influence our decision making. Okay, so here, critical thinking is very important. So that I want to discuss a little bit in a short time. So critical thinking skills that many studies find that our K-12 education systems may not teach critical thinking skills that enough. But actually, when we look at the college student, and the people find that, oh, it's not only K-12. The well-known study found that the college student also don't get well-trained for critical thinking, and it showed that 45% of college students didn't show improvement in their critical thinking and complex logic reasoning, and that's actually important to make innovations. And more interestingly, and a follow-up study find that the previous study is wrong, and that they didn't make a right statistical analysis. It's not 45%. It's actually more. So here it's saying 45%, and in a follow-up study, it's showing much more than 45% of the college students actually didn't show improvement in their critical thinking. So that's really a problem. So we can see that critical thinking probably is a new national deficit. It's not new. It's a kind of people didn't pay too much attention on that. And actually, as the education in the school, and we actually consider that our education system need some improvement. And also, as an individual, as a youth members, we should also pay attention on ourselves. And actually, the Einstein said that the education is not only learning the facts, and it's also the training of the mind to think, right? So the critical thinking is, hard to teach because it's kind of a quality of mindset, and it somehow the hardest thing to teach for our students. So in our current school learning, you can feel, right? There are too many facts, too many memorizing, and not that much thinking. So it's quite common for many students to believe that the science is already all discovered and all written in books, and people treat science as a fixed collection of knowledge. I remember I think the same way when I was in the middle school and even in college. And I thought, okay, all I need to do is just learn what written in books. And the innovation was like far from me. It's too hard for me. But later, when I got into the scientific research field, and I quickly realized that the science isn't just about what we already know. It's good to know what we already know, but it's equally important to think to have the critical thinking, and it's important to challenge the knowledge we already know and to explore the unknown field and to bring innovations to our society. So that can maybe more important to make impact, to make our society move forward. And so this is a pretty straightforward example I usually like to show people, that when you observe the thing from different angle, you can get different conclusions. Those conclusions both are true, but it's not the full fact. And the full truth, you have to consider all the possibilities, all the aspects to get to the final solution. So critical thinking is that you have to think in all aspects, and then you draw your final conclusion in a fully considered way, and not just a cited way. Right? Yeah, if you look at this figure in 2D space, you get just the partial truth, and if you look the whole thing in a 3D space, right, you get the full information. And also, this is another image that people look in different angle, and you can get very different conclusions. And the same thing for this figure. And that will often, in the social media, it somehow show you the partial information, and we may have the critical thinking, and we can double check the facts. And that's why, so I think the critical thinking isn't just an academic skill, it's also a foundation of our society. And just like the scientists using critical reasoning to test theories and confirm experimental results, and we also need to think critically about our social issues, right? And that's also a very important part in the US. So currently the disinformation is surging on the internet and the social media, right? So become a critical thinker for our youth members is your best defense. So critical thinkers are less likely to get trapped, right, for the scams, and it got misled by some disinformation, because you always keep in mind and you always have some reasonable skepticism. And on the other side, if people don't pay attention for critical thinking, and they may accept any information as truth, no matter the source, and that's can be a sad. People don't pay attention on that. So I want let our youth members think about this. But we talk about the critical thinking, but what actually the critical thinking is, right? It's hard, but in a short, we can say, okay, the critical thinking is like a self-directed, self-disciplined, self-monitored, and self-corrective thinking. So that means you always think about what you think, right? And you can correct your own thinking, and you are often open-minded, right? You're not just closed-minded. And the critical thinking is to analyze how you think, right? To prove your idea with solid evidence. So this is very important in science and technology. So many people, if you don't have critical thinking, you probably just accept some initial short based on some subjective judgment or based on some emotional feeling, right? So that's very common. So the critical thinking can help our problem solving, not only in the classroom. It can go beyond the classroom, and it's essential in our everyday life. And whether you're solving a math problem you handle disagreement, you make planning for your future. Critical thinking helps you reflect, analyze, and plan effectively. And master critical thinking for our youth members is so important. And that's also, I often talk with my students that keep on doing critical thinking and learn critical thinking when they do the project. So yeah, like many other skills, the critical thinking can be improved. And that's true. And when you practice, when you pay attention on this, you can improve your critical thinking definitely. And this is the often thing I do to train our graduate student and the PhD student. And it doesn't matter what direction they are going to do the research. The critical thinking is the super important. We are going to treat them in the beginning, and otherwise they will make so many mistakes during the process. Right? So critical thinking is the important thing. And I didn't realize it until I already old. And actually, when you are still in the middle of high school and pay attention on the critical thinking, and I would say many people wanted to realize it and want to improve the critical thinking. And for PhD and graduate students, they have the project. And for the our K-12 student and for our youth members, different people also try different methods. And for some time, it's a popular ways like using some computer games, brain training games. But in recent years, people see that some research show that they're not effective. So it doesn't, the brain training games only good at improve the score in games, not generalized to others. So no proven impact on broader cognitive abilities, academic achievement, and professional skills. So it's not too much improvement can be proved there. But for my opinion, I think it's very important way, or it's an effective way, is to focus on the subject specific and the project-based method. This is also talked about by many other studies, that when we try to improve our critical thinking skills, we try to focus on some project-based approach, particular interested subject. And as our youth members, when you are still in high school, middle school, and you can actually explore some opportunities to participate in some real world project, solve some real world problem, and you can gain a deeper understanding of some subject you are interested, and train your critical thinking skills during the real world problem solving process. So I would encourage our youth members to do that. And that's actually a very important step that you learn from practice. And most universities have actually the programs to involve middle high school students, right, in the university research. And for example, UTA, UTD, all the universities, they have such kind of programs. And also for you, if you already have some interested topics, and you can also contact researchers and professors directly by email. So don't worry, just to send emails, and you will get a lot of surprising opportunities that you never think before. So I would encourage our youth members to, if you are interested for some topic, go ahead to explore with some expert, and you will get a lot from that. And yeah, I think my time is up, and I think here is some of the project I did. I did mostly for the robotics project, and also machine learning, big data project, and for the like the brain computer interface, and the big data machine learning for life science, and for the drug discovery, and for the smart energy. Yeah, I did a different project for different directions, and using the core thing is the we developed the machine learning and the data-driven solutions, and we developed the AI-driven solutions for problems in different fields, where we don't restrict in any particular field, and any field that need the problem solving, that need data-driven solutions, and I like to solve it. And also I would encourage, you can, if you are interested for some topic, you can, get involved. So yeah, so in the end, I think there are, just to open your mind and to explore some project, and you can also keep in mind that critical thinking can be effectively improved only you really doing something in deep, right? Otherwise, it's actually pretty hard to improve. So yeah, and also remember the critical thinking is go beyond your books, go beyond the school, right? It's about engaging with the world. And I encourage you to dive into some project to spark your interest and connect with experts. Don't worry, just to be brave and contact them. We are open for kids to connect with us. And the expert can give you the guidance, and this hands-on experience will be invaluable to develop your critical skills, and that will definitely shape your future and help a lot, in the following way.